Welcome to The Secret Witch Show, the podcast providing a safe and alchemical altar space of conversations which help powerful women escape a half-hearted, spiritless society and rediscover the freedom of living a wildly magical life. Every other week, we explore how to cast aside the wounds of shame, guilt, and fear connected with fully being yourself, so you can grant yourself permission to stop hiding, ground soulfully back into your body, illuminate your whole soul desires, tend your soul, rediscover and reclaim your powerful gifts, express your magic, and manifest your wildest alchemy. There's no better place to become who your heart longs to be. This is where we will guide you into liberation. I'm your host, Nicole Barton, and I'm so excited to dive in. Welcome to November, witches. I am so happy to be exploring this episode. I am going to be honest, I have been navigating some hardcore times. The last eclipse was super intense, and it is so timely to be teaching on visioning because my own soul's vision is being called to be expanded in all the ways. So I'm really living into, given we're talking about visioning in today's episode, I'm really living into my own teachings here and learning to navigate what my own soul is calling me to. After some pretty challenging schooling safeguarding issues for my little daughter, who has, it's just been such a challenging time for her, for us, which has asked of me, life has asked of me to homeschool her. And that is calling my own inner oracle witch, as you'll meet in this episode, to revision my entire life right now. That's why I'm so grateful for this work, because without the archetypal remedies and my witch, my senses, I'd be drowning right now. So I'm excited to go into this episode. As ever, if you resonate and you want to go deeper, it could be time to join us in the Apothecary membership. There is no pressure, and we are working with reclaiming our soul's vision right now, healing the wounding in the way of us accessing it and reclaiming the inner oracle witch within, who knows our vision already beyond the ideas that she doesn't think she does. If that is calling to you, you can find out more at nicolebarton.co.uk/membership. Otherwise, let's dive into the episode. On The Secret Witch Show today, I am guiding us to unearth the soul's vision that is buried beneath layers of wounding and shame. I begin with a little bit of my own story, how for years I doubted the synchronicities, signs, body nudges that pointed me to a deeper calling, from my corporate days of kind of pushing past intuition to the burnout that finally arrived and invited me to slow down and meet my inner witch. I share how learning to trust what I felt in my heart rather than what seemed logical became the first step towards remembering my soul's true vision. With the crystalline clarity of the Oracle Witch, who I share more in this episode about, I offer a loving reminder that our visions aren't missing. They're simply hidden beneath layers of armour that we have built to stay safe. In this episode, we'll explore how the archetypal remedy of Clear Quartz crystal helps us move beyond the logic that once protected us and into the intuitive heart that already knows. We uncover the Clear Quartz wound, the fear of getting it wrong, of being too much, of not being clever enough, and the way it clouds our inner oracle witch. I introduce the shift from compensating manifestation, which I share more about, which is I want to get, to generative creation, which is who do I want to become? And I invite you to meet the part of you who already knows and holds that crystal clear clarity on your purpose and vision. I also guide you through a gentle guided journey, teaching you how to soften the crystalline armour, listen to the intuitive whispers beneath our fear, and reconnect with the luminous vision that our soul has buried for safekeeping. It's an episode for every secret witch learning to trust your magical brilliance. So let's dive in. Hello, and welcome back to The Secret Witch Show, or welcome if you're new here. And we are exploring today how to unearth the soul's vision buried beneath wounding and shame. And I'm super excited for this particular topic, which has been chosen, as always, by the members of our free Facebook group, Secret Witch Sisterhood. So if you're not already a member in there, you may want to join. But in each episode, really, of the Secret Witch show, I always serve a remedy. If you're new here or you're returning, like often every episode, there will be some archetypal remedy, because that's the path that I walk here, is the path of archetypal remedies, and the witch knows how to heal herself with these remedies. And I bring alive a remedy through each episode. It's like an archetypal energy. So if you're listening here, this is really a space of medicine. And the Oracle Witch, or Clear Quartz, as I funnily call her, you'll probably be familiar with her. She's a crystal. If you're like a witch and you're into all the witchy things, then you probably know about Clear Quartz crystals already. But that is ultimately the Oracle Witch. That's how I see that archetype, who helps us to really open to our intuitive wisdom, really tune in, get clear on our vision, and remember the clarity, the crystalline clarity that's within us. So that's what we're going to be exploring this week. And it's really very much around like remembering and embodying the wisdom that's already within. So, and this reminded me, I pulled a card before we did this, and it's from, interestingly, the fabulous new deck by Rebecca Campbell, which is the Inner Temple Oracle Guidebook, which very much feels like that kind of Clear Quartz energy. So I love that I pre-ordered this like months ago and then decided to serve Clear Quartz. And then, of course, in comes her beautiful thing. But her card, the card that I pulled, is the Holiest Temple, which I absolutely love, because it's talking about the body being the pathway home to everything we seek. And Clear Quartz crystal is actually made of silica. Silica is a mineral that is really one of the most foundational minerals in our body. So what Oracle Clear Quartz brings us into is back into the body, because so many of us, especially when we start thinking about our vision, like we've been disconnected from the very thing where our vision kind of resides, the very place our vision resides. So it says there's no deeper wisdom than that which exists within. Your body has an intelligence beyond what you could possibly imagine. It's always talking to you, sometimes singing, other times screaming. And it talks about how your intuitive senses are forever delivering information to guide you every moment of the day. So many of us were taught to dismiss the body or see it as something other than sacred. That is one of the worst crimes there is. There's no greater companion for the soul than the physical body, and no more sacred a vessel than it. Your invitation in this card is to move your body and cherish it. And then, yeah, it just goes on and talks about all the juicy things. But it says when we're disconnected from the body, we're disconnected from the sacred and the soul. Your body knows how to move through all that life throws at you. How are you being called to move your body today? But what we often forget as well, just to deepen that a little bit when we're here to talk about the piece about unearthing the soul's vision, is that the soul's vision lives in the body. And yet there's so much wounding in the way, so much shame around being in the body, that is often what stops the secret witch who doubts herself, doubts her magic, from really truly knowing what that vision is. So just to share a little bit of context, like my own journey, before I understood this work, before I dived into this work, I spent years doubting what I was being shown. Like I'd have all the synchronicities, all the magic, all the dreams, all the body nudges. There's moments when like the universe was just kind of like calling to me, like, you're a witch, you're a witch. And I was like, no, like I'm a brand manager. What are you talking about? And I dismissed them and kind of explain them away, being like, that doesn't make logical sense. It's not practical. It's not possible. And so back when I was in my corporate job, I still felt like this deep call, this deep kind of pull to holistic healing work. But I kept pushing past that, kind of overriding that intuitive nudge with logic. I thought I had to be sensible, successful, grounded in something that was like real or mundane. And it wasn't until I burned out that I finally kind of slowed down enough to tune in and listen to that inner oracle, to give myself like permission to follow that inner nudge and step into the work of my witch, like beginning with reconnecting to my body. This is why Clear Quartz has come through so strongly, because at the moment, collectively, we are disconnecting from our bodies. There's so much wounding, so much trauma in society and culture that we as witches are so sensitive, and instantly that has a shut down and disconnect. And that is the moment when we start to reconnect, when we start to listen, when we start to go, oh, I've just had like an intuitive nudge here. And we trust that and we go, okay, I'm going to listen to it. Like that's when we begin to meet the inner oracle within us. Who knows what our vision is? So I've gone straight in here. In this episode, we're going to explore that. We're going to explore how our soul's vision can become buried beneath wounding and shame, and how with the help of Clear Quartz, we can begin to unearth it. It's almost like I see it kind of digging through the dirt to find that beautiful Clear Quartz crystal mineral and see that clarity. Because many secret witches will land here. If you're landing here, you might not believe that you even have a vision, or you might be like, I can't find clarity. Like, I don't know what my gifts are. When simply, like, what's really going on is that vision. And what I mean by a vision is like that kind of North Star of where we're heading, like the who we're here to be, the like what we want to create in life. Like knowing of that, like that's what our vision is. That's what I invite women to hold all the time, that even when it feels impossible. But like often we will, that will be hidden beneath fear, wounding and shame. And so I'm here to remind you in today's episode, or Clear Quartz is, because she's just channeling through me, is that your soul never lost her vision. It's simply been hidden from you. It's been kept secret, even from you, in order to keep yourself safe, because the secret witch has wounds, the witch wound around like, well, if I start to lean into this, like people will judge me, or people think I'm weird, or I'm not going to be good enough, or whatever it is. Like, and that wounding, those fears, like keep us safe in many ways. But we're here with Clear Quartz to start looking at that, to shine a light on it. Because every soul who is here has a deeper vision and mission. Like you have a vision, you have a mission. But the secret witch, because she's so sensitive, learned to keep hers hidden. She's learned to mistrust her brilliance. And particularly with Clear Quartz, you can often find this woman, the Clear Quartz Oracle Witch. If this is your remedy, one of your remedies, and there's loads of remedies we're here to work with in our lifetime. But if this is one of your remedies, Clear Quartz, it will often have you swinging between two extremes. Either I'm not brilliant, I'm not clever, I'm not logical enough, or I can only trust logic. Magic can't be trusted. And this creates this like internal kind of tug of war and disconnect from our bodies, which is where our wisdom lives, where we kind of suddenly feel the stirrings of our inner witch. Like our body's like, oh yeah, this feels juicy. Like this is who I am. And we feel that kind of calling to something more meaningful, something more magical. And then all the fear comes in. Usually when we start to get in touch with our vision, like all the fear will come in and shut it down. So if you're feeling fear, if you're like, I'm witchy, and now I feel all the fear, that's because you're starting to see your vision. And likely, there's a few things going on, but one of them may be that you've been taught to value only what's logical. We've been taught to dismiss our bodies, where our inner oracle and our intuitive heart and our spiritual brilliance lives. Like we believe, oh, maybe it's not real, maybe I'm making it up, maybe it's not safe. And that can show up, that suppression of magic can show up as, I can't do it. Who am I to do that? Like, I can't trust myself to get this right. What if I get it wrong? People will think I'm woo if I trust my intuition. And then we disconnect from our bodies. Sometimes, if we've got like deep wounding around Clear Quartz, and the secret witch wounds, like we're not even able to access our vision at all, right? We can completely feel shut down, lost, unclear about what we're here for. We maybe know like whatever we're doing right now is not it, like, but we don't know, we don't have visibility of like what's more, what's beyond where we are now. And this isn't because we don't have a purpose. This is because of the witch wound. We have learned, like our ancestresses, to stay safe by locking away the witchy part of us, the inner oracle witch, the part of us who trusts our intuition, who knows how to be in touch with our soul's vision and has crystal clear clarity, like we're talking about crystal clear clarity on her vision, on her gifts, on her next steps. Like we have innocently had that shut down. And so, yeah, it's a big one for the secret witch, like this wound of disconnecting from our inner oracle. And of course, clear quartz as an archetype, let's just bring that alive a little bit, because clear quartz is a crystal. It kind of carries that like rigidness, that sense of like structure, control, in wounding, like, but it also has that, when we're able to alchemize that, it also carries the gift of that crystalline clarity, that crystal clear clarity. And it's a crystal, it's the amplifier of energies. It like helps us amplify and get in touch with and attune to other worlds. It helps us tune in. It's a big communication crystal. And so the clear quartz witch in her gold, when she's learned to alchemize the shadows of clear quartz, is often brilliant, like gifted, articulate, high achieving, logical. But that brilliance can become armor that kind of blocks us from our hearts. And so we learn in this kind of wounding of clear quartz, that it's kind of what I would call a clear quartz state. Like we go into, if we imagine we're like an onion and we have different layers, and like who we are at the center is who we were born as, and then we have these different layers that go, I don't know, maybe with clear quartz it's like, you're not brilliant enough, you're not clever enough. As a child, like somebody said that to us, we go into a clear quartz state and we go, oh, I'm not clever enough, I can't trust myself, I especially can't trust my intuition, like, or you're a genius and that's wrong. And then you're like, oh no, I definitely can't trust, I can't let my brilliance express. Like this is the stuff that puts us into, these are the wounds that put us into a clear quartz state. And so we learn that logic, which the world values, is safe, is legitimate, is approved of. And we learn that magic equals danger, shame, ridicule. And so we fear being seen as foolish, too much, crazy, being wrong, failing, not being clever, not being capable enough to create what we desire. So it then impacts our level of knowing of our power. Like we think, oh, I'm not capable enough. And often, as I just mentioned, like we can have been shamed, criticized, bullied for our magical brilliance or our intuitive knowing. Like maybe people laughed at us because we were still like, as an older child, being like, oh no, I had this intuitive hit, or like I had this kind of communion with other worlds, and maybe we're laughed at, like, magic isn't real. That's what we would have been taught as children. Like, yeah, you're allowed to believe in magic until a certain age, and then it's not acceptable. Or maybe we felt we weren't smart enough compared to others. As an adult, this becomes, it leads to wounded clear quartz patterns of overthinking everything, feeling like we have to get things right, analysis paralysis, like going round and round and round in analysis, freezing before we can take intuitive action. Hyperlogic, like we need proof, we dismiss magic. And even shut down, as I said, like from our vision entirely, like we can completely and utterly shut down from our vision. And this wound is fundamentally a trust wound. It's like we don't trust our inner knowing. Like we trust our logic because we've built up the walls of logic to be like, okay, we're really good at this. But we don't allow ourselves to trust the inner knowing, the inner oracle. Like we value clarity because there's a logical clarity we can have, but we fear that true, deep, intuitive oracle wisdom seeing that kind of comes from within. And so we stay safe in like mental control, often kind of they're manifesting from lack instead of like love and truth. Often where secret witches can be when they enter this path is very fixated on what tangibly we want. So things like, and I'm speaking to my own experience here, by the way, like when I started working with my witch, I was like, I want to manifest money. I want to be a millionaire. I want to have this, this, and this. And like all my vision was just a list of what I wanted. There's nothing wrong with that, just to be clear. It's just there's somewhere deeper to go, because what happens when we tend to be very much focused on like the material manifestations that we want. And just to be clear, like as I say that, there's a deep nuance here, because I still want people to get in touch with like the material things. Like those are really valuable. We can't be in our bodies if we're not thinking about the tangible material world. And when we only focus there, often that can come from what I call a compensating focus. A compensating focus is focusing only on wanting to manifest what we haven't got already. And that's typically when our vision is only that, it's a vision that's born from wounding, scarcity, lack, some feeling of not being enough, compensating. It's a compensating focused vision. That kind of manifesting, that kind of vision comes from fear, not truth. And I say that with love, because I have totally been there. Like I used to totally just focus there. But I realized and I learned through having my own guides who guided me into this, is like true vision can never arise from compensating for what we believe we lack. That's coming from a logical place. We're going, oh, I haven't got this, therefore logically I would like more of this, and therefore my vision is going to be this. The only way that we can truly start to really feel into our soul's vision, rather than this logical compensating vision, is to ask, who do I want to become? Not what do I want, but who am I? Like, who do I want to be? Who do I want to become? And so Clear Quartz crystal as an archetypal remedy, and an archetypal remedy is an energy medicine. So it's about self-illumination through Clear Quartz's like kind of patterns. Like as we start to work with her, seeing the patterns that she has, like it helps us illuminate who we really are. And so her healing is about moving from beyond that logical place and that compensating lens and into what can be called generative manifesting. Like not compensating, but generative. So this isn't creating from fear of lack. This is like getting in touch with what's our heart's genuine desire. What's our soul's truth? What is it we really want in our hearts? And that may well be some of these manifested physical things, practical, tangible things. In fact, I would hope that it is. But on some deeper level, there's like a deeper answer to what our heart wants, and we can feel it differently. But that only happens when we begin to learn how to soften our crystalline armour, allowing the truth to pass through us, allowing the truth to come to us, allowing those intuitive nudges to reveal, rather than trying to control the outcome. Be like, okay, from logic, I want this. So vision isn't something that we work out, in inverted commas. It's something that it's almost like a peeling back of layers until we're able to remember it. And the Oracle Witch's path is to let the heart lead and the mind support that. Like not be the leader, but support that. Like, well, I'm not saying like, let's dismiss our logical mind and our brilliance. Like there's a beauty to the alchemy of both. But also clarity isn't found through, for the witch at least, through thinking harder. There will be archetypal remedies whose job is to, whose purpose is to be a logical thinker. I'm thinking this particular archetypal remedies who would be here to be, very logical, very linear. But for the Oracle Witch, the feminine Oracle Witch particularly, like it's not through thinking. It's through felt embodied softening. And so the moment that we try to figure out our vision logically, we've already left the place where our vision lives in our bodies, in our hearts, in our souls. So I invite you to reflect first and foremost, like what if clarity doesn't come from thought, but it comes from feeling? Like what does that bring up for you? And what if your fear of being too much is actually your brilliance being asked to be allowed permission to shine? It's that real kind of invitation to shift from what do I want to get to who do I want to become. That's what Clear Quartz invites us into, some of the things that Clear Quartz invites us into. And so things like, some questions here which you might want to like pause and contemplate and write down, is things like, who am I becoming? Like in the next 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, who do I want to become? How do I want to feel each day? Like what kind of woman am I when I'm living my soul's truth? These are the sorts of questions that we're going to start to ask. Now, if we start to go there without going in and working with Clear Quartz, we're just going to answer them logically. We're going to be like, okay, well, I want to be a millionaire in like 5 years' time, and I want X, Y, Z. Like, I want to feel abundant. I want to feel, yeah, you know, we're going to go just into that kind of very practical level. And what I know of a vision is it's usually not that obvious. So we want to dig a little bit deeper. This isn't about necessarily trying to figure out what the material goals are. It's about embodying our energy as the woman who already lives that. Like, how do we want to feel? Who do we want to be? That's where we manifest from. And the Clear Quartz, which knows that true manifestation is generative. It comes from resonance, wholeness, love, not from trying to fill a void. So I'm going to talk a little bit more to Clear Quartz and her properties, because she's our guide for this particular theme. And actually at the moment, we are working with her in the Secret Witches Apothecary membership. So this is very timely. For those who are already in there, you're going to be learning a little bit more about her and building on what we're already kind of exploring and journeying with. So I'm excited for you to receive that. If you're not in there already, you're very welcome to join us, and there'll be links to that in the show notes, and I can share more in the end as well. But ultimately, Clear Quartz is a mineral remedy. So in the apothecary, we have different categories, different queendoms, as I call them, of remedies. So there could be animal, mineral, all sorts of plants, magical. There's all sorts of different queendoms. But Clear Quartz is mineral, which means it's of the body. Like, it's a crystalline being who has the kind of grounded wisdom of the earth, and her structure, her crystalline structure, lives within our cells. She's literally part of us. Like silica is in our body. Silica is Clear Quartz. And she's kind of the bridge between logical and magical. She teaches us how to work with structure and bring structure in and bring clarity to our intuition without kind of hardening against that, like with allowing our intuition, giving ourselves permission to feel. And so we're going to go into a mini connection practice. Actually, I don't normally do this on podcast episodes, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of a sense and a feel for her, because it's the feeling of Clear Quartz. That's where the healing is. So this is the part of us who knows our vision already, who knows our gifts, who knows the steps of our soul's path. So we're going to go in now, very into a like mini connection practice. So feel free to either pop your own music on and create some space for yourself to go into this. And you might want to pause this, go set up some space with some cushions, some blankets, a candle, maybe an actual Clear Quartz if you have one. And just like hold that Clear Quartz if you want to, and just allow yourself to create some space. Maybe lighting some incense, putting on some essential oils, and we're just going to do a mini journey. And as I am conscious of us entering this space, I just want you to also know, because I know that what can come up for the crystalline witch, the Clear Quartz witch, is, oh, I love that, by the way, the crystalline witch. I love it. I might use that one. But yeah, for the crystalline witch, she often thinks like this right or wrong. So as we go into this, there is no right or wrong way to experience it. Like, we can often fear getting it wrong, striving for the perfect vision or the right way of doing something. There is no right or wrong here. There's only your way. This is what we're here to discover, is that intuitive way. This is an invitation into your intuition. And so as you're journeying this, you might be experiencing it as a visual thing. You might experience it as a physical sensation, a felt sensation. You might experience it as an audio. You might experience it as a knowing. You might not have anything at all. That is all welcome. It might be visual. Like whatever comes or doesn't, including whether you have a vision arrive, visually as a picture, a word or sound, whatever comes or doesn't come is perfect. This is about just the first tender steps into trusting how your intuition speaks to you. So we're going to go in. I'm not putting audio on this because it's a podcast, but if you want to just put something light and crystalline on, then please do. And just settle in, grounding into your body. This is the place where your soul's vision lives. Just taking a moment to take a deep breath. And just let your body soften. Wherever you are, just imagine roots extending down through your feet, down, down, down into the earth, into the soil. Just slowing your breath. Really connecting into a sense of grounding and being held by the earth. Into the minerals of the earth. And just imagine, visualize, feel, sense, gently digging deeper and deeper through the dark, fertile earth. Literally as if we're in the soil. Let's connect into that sense of being in the soil. Because often it can feel like being in the soil when we don't have that clarity, like that sense of like wading through the darkness, through the muck, through the dirt, like feeling lost, like as if we're just digging our way out of this hole, trying to get clarity. So just keep digging wherever you are. And as you do, you start to notice that there's this beautiful clear quartz crystal buried in this dark earth. This pure, like beautiful, shining, clear quartz crystal. It's just shining, reflecting light. Just take a moment to feel its energy, like this mineral wisdom of the earth that's in the earth. And maybe it's not like your normal, beautiful, polished, clear quartz crystal. Maybe it's just a free-form crystal. It has its own structure, its own form. There's no need to conform to a particular structure. But you can feel as you pick it up, it's like energy pulsing through your hand. Just witness for yourself how this crystal mirrors the crystalline structure within your own cells. That the clarity this clear quartz crystal has is the same clarity that lives in the earth and also in you. And if you have a crystal, bring this to your heart. And if you are working with visualizing a crystal, bring that to your heart. Just hold it at your heart center. Breathe into its pure light, its clarity, its illumination. And just visualizing, feeling, sensing white light beaming from the crystal into your heart, and from your heart just growing, that light, that white light growing and growing and growing as it moves through your body, through your cells, out into your aura, out into the world. Just visualizing that white light growing and growing and growing. Just noticing as you're doing that, what your body feels like, what your sensations. Noticing the edges of your body, the crystalline structures of your body. Notice too where your chest feels like a tight crystal, hard, guarded, trying to be the perfect crystal, the logical mind trying to stay safe. Whisper love to those places. Just let your inner child know it is safe to dream. There's no need to stay hard. It is safe to connect with the inner oracle who knows. Allow that white light to fill your heart. Begin to open. And this light, as you've been beaming out from this white light, your oracle witch, your clear quartz crystal guide, the wise one within, who already knows your vision, knows your path, begins to emerge. Just witness her for a moment, just take her in, notice how she feels. What does she look like? Just connect into this part of you that knows. And just ask her, what does my soul truly long for beyond what I think it longs for? What would my dream day look like if I was already living it? Who is my inner oracle witch? Who did I come here to be? And as you do that, just notice any logical, crystallized fears that arise in the way of answering that. Just allowing yourself to love yourself in those places that fear seeing your vision if you aren't receiving any nudges, any visions, any wisdom. Just let your inner little girl know that she is safe. She doesn't need to hide her magic. She doesn't need to shrink her inner knowing. And ask her, like, what do you fear? And let that answer be received. Maybe she lets you know what's in the way. And as you keep inquiring and just allowing space to receive, what is my vision? Who am I here to be? Keep opening your heart, visualizing your heart opening. And forgetting how practical it feels, how possible what's coming back feels. Like if you're receiving a vision that is big and it doesn't feel possible, it doesn't feel practical, just allow that, welcome that. It doesn't need to feel practical or possible. We've been taught from a logical place that we need to know how. When we're talking about our magical soul's vision, we do not need to know how, we just need to receive. So allow yourself to dream, to intuit whatever you are being shown by your vision guide. And that may be something big that feels like it's not possible. Allow that. Notice what comes up to shut that part of you down. Take a nice deep breath. And an exhale. Just allow yourself to receive any more nudges of wisdom. And we're going to begin just returning to our present moment. You might want to pause this, jot down anything that was shown to you, anything that you received, any images, words, phrases, knowings. Like these intuitive hits, they don't always arrive in the way we expect. It might be that we had a felt sense of something. It might be that we saw a visual, a symbol. Often archetypal remedies will work with symbols. Sometimes women will literally just be handed a symbol. That is enough. Even if you're showing nothing, that in itself is enough. It's showing you that there's fear to be loved. Note down the fears. They are the places to start to welcome. And also any fears that arise, those fears are the exact places that healing wants to happen. They may well be clear quartz fears. This is why we do this work. Gently begin to just connect to a sense of movement, maybe wriggling your toes, your fingers, slowly bringing yourself back from this mini illumination, this mini visioning guide. Just notice how you feel. Sometimes we spend most of our lives ignoring our bodies. Our bodies will guide us, will help us see what is there. Silica, clear quartz, is the essence of soft embodied clarity. It's the intuitive oracle witch. It helps dissolve the shame that keeps the witch from her vision. It reminds her that brilliance doesn't have to be hard and logical and masculine. It can be soft, felt, embodied. And silica or clear quartz supports us in trusting that, in trusting the nudges, the synchronicities, the signs that guide us. Like if we just take the next nudge, we don't even need to know the how. Like if we just follow that next nudge, that is the way, that is what's healing. So I think we're going to bring it to a close there. The oracle witch, her vision doesn't need to be kind of dug out as we are doing, not in a logical way. Like we only need to learn to remember, to peel back what's in the way. So these fears that we've illuminated today of clear quartz patterns, the thing about feeling too much or feeling like brilliance is too much, or feeling like we don't know enough, or we're not smart enough, or we have to prove ourselves in a logical way all the time. Like these are the things that clear quartz is showing us. Like if you're listening to this and all you take away is like, oh, I really resonate with that pattern, that is perfect. That is showing you where your work with clear quartz is, so that you can learn to welcome and accept your intuitive innate nature. Like if you're a witch and you're listening to this, you are intuitive. You're an intuitive essence being. Like that is, you are clear quartz. Like that is what you're here for. And when we can't access that, it's usually because there's some kind of clear quartz wounding in the way. That's what our work is here. It's not about knowing logically every step. It's about trusting what we feel. It's about illuminating what's in the way of doing that. You are the crystal already. Like you already have the clarity you see. You've just been disconnected from that mineral in your body. So I'm going to invite you, if you didn't receive anything in that, just keep working with that mini episode, like with that mini journey. Come back to the practice whenever you feel like you want to go in. The more that we can soften, the more will be revealed. The more we start to trust that and follow those nudges, the more power we reclaim. So it's a bit of a different episode today. I hope you have loved it. And if you haven't, that's also welcome. I would love to know what has come up for you in this episode. What have you revealed? You can do that in many ways. You can either email me at info@nicolebarton.co.uk, or you can message me via our Facebook group. You can join the Secret Witch Sisterhood, which is the free Facebook group. You can also join the Apothecary if you are ready to reconnect with your inner oracle and start to unearth your vision, and just in general begin to liberate some of those fears around doing so. I mean, we don't just jump straight to vision. We work with the wounds that are in the way. Like that's what we're here to heal in the Apothecary. So the Secret Witch's Apothecary is a great place if you're wanting to take a next aligned step. And yeah, we're going to be opening to our brilliance. We're going to be healing and liberating that part that feels like our magic isn't welcome in a logical world. And we're going to be reclaiming our visions. So if you feel inclined to join us, please do, in whichever way it feels aligned. Otherwise, enjoy the next episode or diving into the library of episodes. We've got so many. I think this is episode 120 something. So there's like literally 100 plus episodes to dive into. And I will look forward to connecting with you again in the next one. Lots of love. I absolutely loved recording this episode, and it gave me some beautiful reminders of where my focus needs to be. Here are my takeaways. Your soul's vision is not missing. It's hidden beneath wounding and shame. The part of you that knows what you're here for has never left. She's simply been locked away and hidden under the fear of being too much, too magical, or maybe not clever enough. The clear quartz wound keeps us trapped in logic and doubt. When safety has meant prove it, we disconnect from our hearts, override intuitive nudges, and mistrust our inner oracle, which is a survival strategy that clear quartz helps to soften and heal. Manifesting visions from lack is compensating for pain, not creating from soul. When we fixate on what we don't have and say, like, I want to manifest money, we create from fear. Generative manifesting asks, who do I want to become? And shifts the focus of our vision from scarcity to soul alignment. Clarity comes from feeling, not figuring out. True vision isn't found through logic or planning. It arises through the heart, where we slow down, listen inwardly, and allow intuition, not intellect, to lead. Clear Quartz is the vision guide within who mirrors our brilliance. And as the archetypal remedy of truth and intuition, she doesn't give us something new. She amplifies what's already inside us, helping us hear our heart's wisdom and trusting the knowing that lives in our bones. Self-trust is that gateway to visioning. Each time you soften fear, love the parts that doubt, and follow the smallest intuitive nudge, you unearth another layer of your soul's calling, remembering that you are the crystal. You already hold the clarity you seek.